Welcome to the Brady Bunch of Autism, your source for family, parenting, and all things autism and special needs. Created by our family for your family. Live from the Ed Asner Family Center. And now your hosts, Navah and Matt Asner.
Hello and welcome to the Brady Bunch of Autism. I'm Matt Asner.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Navah Asner.
And here we are. This is show number 3.
Is it number 3 already?
Yes, number 3.
Exciting.
So it's been an interesting week or so since we've done this, and lots to talk about.
Definitely. I think people are going to be either sad to not see our cute little faces or kind of...
Well, they'll be sad to see... They'll be sad not to see your cute little face, but mine,
I think
they
a
can
lot of
probably
people
do
like
without.
to see your cute little
Really?
face too, man.
I don't know.
You have your fans.
I do?
Definitely. You have your mom fans.
My mom fans?
Yes.
Wow.
I have moms telling me all the time. Like,
Really?
oh, Maddie, he's so
that's nice.
perfect. He's like the perfect autism dad.
Well, we got to do
If
this
only
show
they
more
knew.
often.
If only they knew the truth.
We got to... they knew the truth. We got to do this show more often.
So you can have even more fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, because it's good for my ego.
Oh, okay.
It's good for my ego.
Which
So anyway...
you need. Definitely you need.
Yeah, of course.
Boosting.
So,
Let's get into it, Matt.
do you want to get into it? I want to get into it.
Yeah, I know you do.
So yeah. So here we are. Now, I'm not a guy that likes to get political, right?
You're joking.
No, I don't. I don't.
And I don't
to
like
get political.
pickles and David Bowie.
I don't like to get political because you know why? Because we have people on both sides.
You love to get political.
We have people on both sides that come to the center. We have people on both sides that are friends.
Yeah, as we should.
I respect everyone, and I think everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
I wish more of America felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people have polarized each other and literally losing friends, like lifelong friends, over their stance with politics. And people say, you're with me or without me.
Well, I don't have to agree with everyone that I'm friends with.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I say all the time, let's. I love you, but
I
don't agree with you.
I feel certain ways about things, and I can't kind of stay quiet about this because it's something that is going to. Hopefully, this doesn't happen. Hopefully, we're wrong.
But it's so important to us and our community. People we love, people we care about, our own family, that we can't just sit back and wait for the bomb to explode and then scatter and be rushed and not prepared.
And let's talk a little bit about what we're talking about.
Okay.
So the Trump administration is making cuts pretty much to every department known to man through DOGE. DOGE is making the cuts. And, it's unsettling enough to see this happening anyway, because people are losing their jobs, they're losing their livelihoods. Look, I don't know. I need to do more research on whether or not some of that is okay or not, but fine. I'll admit that. But let's talk about the Department of Education. The Department of Education, and specifically cuts to Medicare and the Department of Education. Let's talk about both of those things. So let's talk first about the possible cuts to Medicare. So if
Medicaid.
I'm sorry, Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for correcting me.
Thank you, Matt.
That gets confusing for some people.
Thank you for thanking me.
So Medicaid is something that that gets filtered down to the states and then is then used in different programs in each state.
Right. And in California,
it's Medi-Cal.
Right.
And Medi-Cal, let's talk what Medi-Cal does. Basically, any cut to Medicaid would be a cut directly to Medi-Cal. Now, there are people who say, in the administration, who say, oh, we're not going to cut that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But you know what? If the funds aren't there, it's forcing the state's hand to make cuts that they don't want to make. And it's just not it's not the way I think you want to do things. So let's talk about Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal funds critical programs like in-home support services, IHSS, special education services, regional centers. Now, anyone who has a kid on the spectrum or any other disability that's going to affect their learning or livelihood is going to be a client of the regional center, correct?
Right.
And this cuts to Medi-Cal, cuts to Medicaid / Medi-Cal is going to directly affect the services that these kids are receiving. And now some of those services, let's talk about what could be affected. So if cuts to Medicaid affect Medi-Cal and the services that Medi-Cal pays for, that would include IHSS caregivers losing hours and wages, making in-home care harder to access.
And how many single moms, single dads, mostly single moms, who we know, who that's their entire livelihood. I mean, they would be decimated without IHSS.
And it's there for a reason.
Yes.
It's there so their kids can
well,
learn.
It's also there so they don't have to put their special needs child into an institution.
Right.
It's a lot cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper than putting your child in an institution.
A caregiver, right? So
it
makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense
to take that away, and
that's the thing here. Okay, so
just dollars.
Whatever
and cents.
side you're on, let's talk about this. It's black and white. What we're talking about is black and white, and you can't just arbitrarily cut something without really looking into it. You can't do that. Well, I guess you can because it's happening.
Well, I don't think if it doesn't affect the people who are making these like slashes, if it doesn't affect them personally, they don't really understand the magnitude of the community that we're in. And, we've said before, if that happens, they're going to really have their hands full with us because we are going to get very, very, very loud.
Right. And let me just finish the cuts that are possible here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So special education programs struggling, forcing families to seek costly private therapies. That would be a byproduct of cuts to Medi-Cal. Regional centers reducing respite, job coaching, and independent living programs, leaving families without essential support. And that would include what? That would include programs like ours.
Exactly.
Self-determination funding is at risk, limiting personalized care choices for individuals with disabilities. Now, for those who don't know what self-determination is, I'm going to let you talk about that.
Well, I think self-determination just gave kind of the power back to the individuals. It also makes...
basically, it's a funding option.
Yeah, and traditional funding through regional center was very rigid and very, in my opinion, it was only the specific things that were kind of generalized, like clinical ABA and clinical therapies, and you would have to fight very hard as a parent. And I know this firsthand because our youngest is in the program. And the things that he really wanted to do were not classified necessary or fundable through regional center. And now with this new program, they really see the individual as a person. He creates a personal plan. He creates a personal budget with his independent facilitator. And with the facilitator, the whole team kind of figures out what's best for Eddie. For Eddie, things that he really wanted to do, creative things, artistic things, were out of my personal budget to be able to pay out of pocket because all of those kind of things were out of pocket.
So before self-determination kicked in,
we just couldn't afford the things that he wanted to do.
Even like karate and stuff like that.
Piano lessons, art lessons,
right.
Things that swimming and, swimming specifically to me, how many autistic kids have drowned? I know you had that statistic somewhere, but these are things that shouldn't be something that we have to fight so hard for. And we have fought so hard for these things. Somebody like Judy Mark, who was kind of the prime mover of self-determination. She's been there from the beginning, and she had seen how hard it is and how hard the parents are fighting for these kind of social recreation things. And as a as a facility, we see the parents coming in and wanting to come to our social recreation kind of enrichments and our camps, and they just can't afford it. So it's been difficult on all sides, and self-determination has really changed lives for the better. And it would be beyond tragic. It would be an absolute devastation to families.
Yeah. So
universally throughout our community.
One more thing: higher healthcare costs and for your providers as well, and less reimbursement.
Right.
That would. But no, this is scary. This is scary stuff.
Well, and just in our mental health, we fought so hard to get Medi-Cal included in our mental health division because so many special needs families have Medi-Cal. And when I remember you and I and Krissa, our mental health director, rejoiced when we were put in network with Medi-Cal because so many families rely on it. And I'm stammering because the magnitude would be so great, and so it would be a devastation.
And it could end a lot of programs, ours included, And this is something. Now I want to read something because I looked at something this morning, and so a coalition of Democratic-led states is challenging the Trump administration's sweeping layoffs across the education department. This is according to NBC News, saying it amounts to an illegal dismantling of an agency created by Congress. So they're challenging it. It's a federal lawsuit that was filed in Thursday, today, in Massachusetts, 20 states, and Washington, D.C. And they say the layoffs are so severe. This is what the federal government is saying, that the layoffs are so severe that the department can no longer function and cannot comply with its statutory requirements. Okay? So it alleges that cuts will result in a loss or delay of federal money for public schools and will leave the agency unable to administer college or financial aid or enforce civil rights laws at schools, among other disruptions. Serious, serious stuff.
Yeah.
A department spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The department has insisted previously it will continue to deliver on its statutory obligations despite the cuts. So they say, basically, this is what we were talking about. Mm-hmm. They say, don't worry about that. We got it. Don't worry. Look over there.
Right.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. But at the same time, this is what people who are actually doing the job are saying. They're saying, we can't do this.
Yeah.
It's not possible with the staff you're giving us. So,
but I mean, the current kind of state that we're in with Regional Center and some of the other agencies, even my own coordinator, that they're so overloaded with cases. They're parents telling me every day, I haven't spoken to my coordinator, I haven't spoken to my caseworker in months. And I know even with Eddie, I spoke to somebody once and then 6 months passed before I could get her on the phone again. So imagine, even if it was a matter of, well, we're only going to cut back, 50% of the regional center staff. Even that in itself, it would be, I can't even imagine.
Well, they're already underfunded and they're already understaffed. So, and when you, I don't know, when this is a mess. It's a mess. It's just a holy mess. And we have to do something about it. We have to talk about it. And, it's funny because I posted something about this on Facebook yesterday, and someone said to me, someone responded to me and said, "Oh, way to spread fear and scare people." Yeah. And it's like, what? I'm like, what are we supposed to do? Just sit here and kind of like watch things happen? I'm going to talk about this because, we have a responsibility to this community.
Yeah. Well, we have a responsibility to our students. We have a responsibility to not say to them one day, "Hey,
sorry,
kids,
we can't do this
we're closing
anymore,"
up shop
because they stopped funding. And I think people that that are saying, don't spread fear. This is an important issue that is going to affect the livelihood of more than just people being fired in the department. This is possibly millions of people that are going to be affected by this by cuts.
Well, I've always been the type of person that, maybe from my chaotic childhood, I want to be prepared. Mm-hmm. I want to be prepared all the time. I don't want to wait till the last minute and have the bomb dropped on me.
Sure.
And I think, like you said, families depend on us. We have to speak for those who can't speak. Right. And I think we have to be prepared, and I think we have to fight if it comes to that.
So how do we do that? How do we do that? That's the question. How do we do that? How do we fight? How do we let our the administration know that we're not going to take this, that it's not going to sit well with this. We're not going to sit down for this. So one of the things
we're not gonna take it.
Only like a bar of that we can do.
Well, Judy Mark, Disability Voices United.
Yes, that's right.
Were you going to say that, or did I
was going to say that?
To it?
That was
Join Disability Voices United. That's what Matt and I have both done. Judy Mark is really in the front with her machete,
they will
cutting through
let you know who to call, when to call. There's also some California lawsuits that are happening through. I need to look that up. Give them the website to.
You can register at dvunited.org, and Judy is doing everything from just making community briefings to arranging protests. She's just really an incredible advocate for all of us. And we're very thankful as parents and as, nonprofit heads that we have somebody like Judy Mark, who is also a parent of an autistic child. And she knows what it would mean to her family, to her community, and Disability Voices United, dvunited.org. Join today.
And I believe there are some lawsuits that you can join if you want from Attorney General Bonta. Look into that. I don't know enough about that to really talk about it that much, but I know that someone told me this morning that that was an option as well to help fight this. So we're going to wrap this segment up. Nava's pointing. But anyway, we're going to talk about this. Is not the end of this. We're going to talk about this.
No, this is.
We're going
to
talk about this. We're going to talk about it quite a bit because this is something that's really important to us and our families, and we're not going to let it go quietly.
We can't let it go. We can't let it go.
So let's talk about the Academy.
Yeah. Well, I want to every show. Mm-hmm. I would like to talk a little bit about the center. So some shows we're going to be talking about the Academy, our full day adult day program, job training program. Some days we'll be talking about the dating spectrum, our relationship course,
mental health
that is autistically led, autistically created.
Sometimes we'll be talking about mental health.
Sometimes. Today, Camp Ed.
Yeah.
Which is totally full.
Okay. We still talk about it.
I'm still looking, America, for somebody to help us find, I would love somebody to donate a ranch.
A bigger space.
To me. If anybody out there wants to donate a ranch to Camp Ed, I'd really, really appreciate it because Camp Ed really has the opportunity to expand and we just don't have space for everyone.
Right.
But today we're going to talk about a new program that just started at the Academy.
And what is that, Navah?
It's actually related to what we're doing right now.
Okay.
It's really fun. It's kind of goes hand in hand with our voiceover class, which is one of our really, I would say, our most popular elective at the Academy, our voiceover class.
And we're coming to people right now from the Ed Asner Family Center, from Studio A at the Ed Asner Family Center.
Right, and we're in the podcasting room.
Yes, we are.
And our new class at the Academy is called Podcasting 101.
Uh-huh.
And it's taught by an amazing, tall, handsome man named Max.
Uh-huh.
And Max is going to let us know a little bit about what we can expect to hear, because throughout our segments, we're going to bring in various kids who are in the Academy who are just so incredibly dynamic and funny, and they're really finding their confidence in their voices through voiceover and podcasting. So, Max, tell us a little bit about the podcasting class.
We're going to toss to Max now. Max?
Hey there, everybody. This is Max. I am the Podcasting 101 instructor at the Ed Asner Family Center's Academy program. I just wanted to stop in briefly and let you know that next week on the show, you're going to be spending a little bit of time with one of my students named Maggie. She just wrapped on her first ever podcast. She's a total natural at it, and I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun getting to spend some time with her. So that's all for now, but I want to wish everybody a happy World Autism Acceptance Day, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Max.
That was awesome. And
thank you, Jake, for making that work. Our producer, Jake.
And on our next show, we're going to actually have Max bring in one of his stars, Maggie. And Maggie's going to just kind of give us a little snippet of what she has learned in podcasting class. That's going to be for our Autism World Awareness Day on April 2nd. We'll have that program.
Okay.
Coming to you.
Is it awareness still?
No, it's acceptance.
It's acceptance, isn't it?
I mean, it's everything. It's acceptance. It's
acceleration.
I think more awareness needs to be. There's always awareness. Awareness
especially
is
now.
always,
because I still think we have a long way to go, because of look what's happening. What we were
do not bring
what
up
we
Kanye.
were just talking
do not
about.
bring up Kanye again.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Kanye. Well, I mean, I
I'm
guess
gonna slap you.
No,
don't take that
no.
Kanye out of your mouth.
I wasn't. You mentioned him. I didn't mention him.
I thought you were. Going
But what we were talking about earlier in the show, that has to do with awareness.
No, absolutely.
Because people need services.
Well, they need to be aware of what taking away those services would do to the autism community and special needs community.
Exactly.
But on World Autism Acceptance Day, we're going to talk about autism.
Exactly.
But I wanted to talk a little bit something personal.
Because we always do something personal on the
Right,
shows,
Brady
right?
Bunch of Autism.
Yeah.
So, I have always been a fearful flyer.
Yeah.
And I think.
Well, can I set this up a little bit?
Well, I thought I was. Am I not setting it up good?
No, but let me just set it up a little
Wow.
bit.
Truth comes out.
A couple of shows ago, or last show, we were talking about an event that's happening in New York called a Night of Too Many Stars. It's a Next for Autism benefit that has been happening, I'm thinking like 20 years, right? 25 years?
Really?
I think so.
Oh, I did not know that.
So it's a big event that happens pretty much every year that the Robert Smigel and Michelle Smigel put on with Next for Autism. And we are going. We have decided we're going to go. We're going.
So, can I continue?
Now you can continue.
So, I've always been a fearful flyer. Even when I was modeling and going around the country or around the world and flying probably 2 or 3 times a month, I've always been a fearful flyer. And
I can attest to that.
I have a vestibular upset. Yeah. I'm neurodivergent myself. And I have a very sensitive kind of vestibular issue. I have a very sensitive stomach. So all of these issues together, when you put me on a plane, it's not normal, and it doesn't work for me. Navah and planes are oil and water. So I start getting nervous the minute I know I have to go on a plane.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. Nervous is not. I start having panic attacks.
Well, and when you say panic attacks, I mean it's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. And some people would say, "Oh, you just take a pill," and I completely understand why people take pharmaceuticals. I think that for certain conditions, they're life-saving. But for me personally, I just don't take pharmaceuticals, and so it's been really, really tough. And I think, and this will be another show. I'll bring in another 50
right.
Year old mom or woman. But as you go through the change of life, Matt, your anxiety levels for some reason just go out of control. And suddenly it's just crippling, this panic. And I've tried everything from meditation to hypnotherapy to acupuncture, everything you can think of. And I'm really freaking out. And then we have this incredible, just like out of nowhere, run of plane crashes.
Well, okay. Yes. Well, there's one plane crash. I would say there was one plane crash that was kind of weird, and it was the one with the 63 people in it.
Yeah,
that was a bigger plane. But every other plane crash you're talking about is small airports, really small planes, and it's not what we're talking about.
It doesn't make any
difference. Now, wait a minute,
to
though.
me.
Wait a minute.
It doesn't help.
Now, I told you in the past many times, when you fly with me, you have a special thing. It's called the odds, because I was on a plane in Italy in the when was it? Early 90s, maybe 1990, and we had an incident on takeoff, and we had to crash land and had to go down the chute, and the brakes caught on fire, and it was people were injured. It was scary, very, very, very scary. Prior to that, I was terrified of flying. That cured me of my fear. And for one reason. And you know what that reason is?
Don't say that.
It's true.
You're going to jinx
odds.
us.
No.
Oh my God.
No. Seriously. The odds of anything like that ever happening to me again.
I can't believe you did it.
The odds are, it's astronomical. Astronomical.
True. Now, I just want
but
to
it's
tell
true
you,
though. It's not going to happen. You actually can come with me on a plane and relax and think to yourself, I'm protected by Matt.
That helps me.
I've got Maddie.
Iota.
I've got Maddie power behind me. I'm
help.
okay.
Nope.
I'm going to be okay.
Doesn't help.
You could come
do that
on a plane with me, and you would be fine, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
You got to stop saying that.
I'm
the most superstitious person in the world.
You know what the odds of being in a plane crash are so.
You got to stop saying that.
Small, but it's true though.
Okay, but you got to stop saying that.
But I actually no. You got to start.
Happen.
No,
it will happen.
You have to start saying that.
No.
The odds are astronomical.
No.
And if it ever, God forbid, does happen, then boy, that's a real story there. But it's not going to happen.
Well, we have to be alive in order to tell the story, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, someone could tell it for us. But it's almost virtually impossible.
Anyway, I want you all to pray for me.
So how are you going to get through this? Other than like thinking my power will get you through it.
I think that I've had a pretty unusual life, pretty unusual childhood, and I've had to kind of get through things in my life that have been very difficult. And I have a place in my head called that movie The Further, where he goes into the further.
No.
I can't remember. It's Insidious or one of my good scary movies. They go into this place in their head.
Oh, it's like Insidious, yeah.
Astroplaning.
Yeah.
Well, if you are a woman and you've had a baby, which I know you haven't, but
no.
I've had 4 births with no drugs.
That's pretty amazing.
Yes. And one of them was my wolf, who I had at home, 11-pound baby, no drugs. There's a place you have to go in your head in order to do that.
The further.
And it's the further. Because I refuse to let my fear stop me from going to Hawaii. This whole thing is about if you give in to fear and you compound that kind of spin.
I believe that.
Then, I could easily become phobic person who never goes on a plane again. I would love to be that person, but I love Hawaii too much. I love Waikiki. I love surfing at Waikiki. I envision, that's definitely what I'm going to be envisioning the whole time I'm in that friggin' plane.
Let me just say something. Your chances of
no, you gotta stop saying that.
No,
you gotta stop.
It's more, okay, let me put it this way. It's more dangerous to get in a car and drive in a car than it is to get in a plane.
Okay.
And that
doesn't help me at all.
That is the truth. But does you get in a car every day?
Only when you're driving do I get afraid of being in a car.
But do you get in a car? You get in a car.
Yeah.
You still get in a car with me. Even if it's me driving, you get in a car. Under duress.
Great duress.
But do you think about it? Yeah,
no,
you actually do.
It's the claustrophobia factor as well.
Okay, it's being locked into someplace.
I don't like having somebody else in control of my destiny. Like, I need to be in control. And I didn't even like to tandem surf. I like to be on my own board.
That's not what I've heard.
I like to be. Well, you used to be in back. I was in front. But no, I just the claustrophobia feeling.
I don't even understand what that means.
About tandem. He doesn't get it. No. But anyway, yeah. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try to get on that plane. I pray to God the weather is going to be good.
Well, it's been unseasonably warm for most of the country the last couple of weeks, or the last week or so.
And stormy.
No, it hasn't really been stormy on the east. It should be okay. I think we'll be okay. And you got Maddie Power going on.
Oh, God. Here we go.
It's true. Anyway. It's the truth.
Listeners out there, just pray for me. I'll let you know how it went in our next show. And hopefully everything will be okay.
All right. So we're going to have an announcement probably next show, I think, about the poker tournament. Definitely. We do a poker tournament every year. Annual event. 13th year this year for the poker tournament. Ed Asner and Friends Poker Tournament. If you haven't been, you have to come. So we'll have
a fun event. It's such a fun event.
Announcement about that the next show, probably.
Okay. And don't forget to tune in to our next show, because our next show is really all about autism. It's World Autism Awareness Day. And we're going to be talking to one of our participants that is going to give us a little insight into the Academy, our full day program. And if you're interested in any of our programs at the Ed Asner Family Center, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach out to our administrator, Blanca, at teafc.org.
All right. I'd like to thank our producer, Jake, and I'd like to thank you out there, listeners, for listening to our podcast, The Brady Bunch of Autism. We come to you every other week on Thursday, and this has been a pleasure speaking to you, and it's always a pleasure speaking to you, Navah.
It's always my pleasure as well, Matt. And everyone, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time. Shalom aloha, everyone.
Take care.